Hello, Moshi. Welcome to the stream. You the first one. You the first customer. Welcome, welcome. Oh my god, what was that? I'm having technical difficulties. YouTube chat does not want to cooperate. How unfortunate. Hello, consommateur de charbon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Uh, I'll try better next time. All right. Something is going on. Oh, there we go, finally. All right. YouTube chat should be good now. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Today we are analyzing white knuckle runs. Not that it's any kind of a surprise to anybody. Let's see. Yeah, hello, Hinta. I missed your message because YouTube chat was malfunctioning, but it's all good now. Hello, hi. Now let's see. Any submissions I missed last time? Nope, absolutely none. That means, unless somebody wants to send their awesome runs for review, which should be 30 minutes or lower, I suppose I can just boot up Knuckle and do a little bit of a warm up myself. Just waiting for you guys to submit something. What is my opinion on Rabbit DNA? I think Rabbit DNA, before the anniversary update, was a very specialized perk, which was only good in the hands of a very good player. Now, Rabbit DNA is an absolutely amazing perk for like every type of player, from brand new to just casual to competitive. It is it is busted tier for essentially everybody. It is genuinely one of the best perks in the game now. Oh, you gonna send yours? Okay, okay. I guess I'll wait on this Wuckle warm up then. Let's see what you got cooking. Age cube. I am really happy that Rabbit DNA got buffed as it did in Anniversary. I think this was something it desperately needed because again, it was only really good in the hands of really experienced players who knew how to abuse it in like horizontal sections like pipes. For casuals before this buff, I think what I saw usually was new people pick this perk, right? Rabbit DNA before the buff. They used it, and it was just way too awkward for them, and they never picked it again. But now I think it is, even for like somebody who's absolutely brand new, it is absolutely amazing. They don't need to climb really, right? They can just jump wherever they want. Hello, bad ending. Welcome. Where do you send it? There should be a bot spamming links in the chat. If not, there are links in the descriptions to my Discord. There is a runs submission channel, which is open whenever I'm streaming, and you should drop your link there. Once you do, we will be able to look at your awesome, amazing run. Ad break started. How unfortunate. That's okay though. These ads are usually like 15 seconds or so, even though it says 90. Okay, H Cube, waiting on you. Waiting on you. Of course, if anybody else wants to submit a run, you are more than welcome to do so, following the same instructions. I accept any runs which are from the campaign mode, and less than 30 minutes in duration. Could I increase the volume? You mean like my microphone? Should I increase the gain on my mic? Is that really something I should do? Because the levels look okay. Well, you tell me. Should I increase the gain? Do you guys agree that I sound a bit quiet? Should I really increase the gain on the mic? It is, after all, a delicate thing. You know, I'm gonna increase it slightly for you, and then everybody else is gonna say that, oh my god, I'm too loud. This streamer is too loud. Disable microphone. Alright, you're gonna find it? Okay, in that case, I am booting Knuckle, so we have something to do in the meantime. Low-key love listening to my stream while you work. Well, you know, as long as it doesn't distract you from working, then it's all good. Not that I'm... You know, it's like a double-edged sword thing, right? Now, on the one hand, I fully agree with skipping work and doing the bare minimum, if you're working like in an office or something. On the other hand, if you're actually doing some good, useful work, then skipping work might not be such a good idea. Might be kind of bad. All right, let's see. Game capture. Will the game capture? The game does, in fact, capture. All right. What to do for warm-up? Just substructure, maybe? Just cheeky little substructure with nothing but a pouch? Why not? Oh my god, I haven't played in 10,000 years. What do I need? I think a single rebar is good enough. Okay, we enter a room with a possible grub and a kill spawn. The grub is not there. Oh god, I gotta get used to playing this game. Whoa, oh, this feels bad. I am not doing well. The grub is not in the pipe, but the pill might be here on this pillar. The pill is in fact here. Use the pill straight away. And onto a room with a possible grub spawn on this platform. It's not here this time. And a guaranteed pill, as well as a possible disc spawn in this little section. Oh god. Onto a room with a possible grub right there. It hasn't spawned this time. And a possible injector spawn on top of this lamppost. And it is, in fact, here. Now this is a room with not much of anything. So you just climb and skip it as much as you can. Another mid room, which only gives you a can of food at the start. However, you can also skip the entirety of it with this simple rebar jump. Look at that air exchange. Oh, I gotta use focus mode. Whoops. This is one of the barnacle tunnel variants. This one is worse. Oh god. Because in this variant, because of the fans turning on and off, you can sometimes lose your bearings and fall at the worst possible time. And if you get unlucky like this, you get stuck under here and do nothing. Oh, I forgot to ping in the Discord. Uh-oh. Let me fix that. Ah, silly me. Silly me. But hello, hackers. Welcome to the stream. I'm just waiting on some submissions. And while I am waiting, I'm trying to get used to playing White Knuckle again. I am washed. Oh, just not enough. This is a room with a secret that is not usually worth, or not any, not in any kind of run worth taking on your campaign runs, but in Endless, this is absolutely worth visiting because of a guaranteed injector, granola bar, and sometimes a scanner spawn. Scanner is very good in non-unlimited roach endless because it recycles into 20 roaches. Oh, it is so nice that they fixed this room and it all like legitimately now has low gravity all the way up. That is very, very nice. Okay, I think that is a submission. Let's see it. Hello, Peapock. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so... Unlucky Nuke here is cooking with an 856 run. Let's watch it. Hello, White Crow. Happy to see you. How are you? 856. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you can do. We begin with one of the container storage rooms, which has a granola spawn at the very start. Does indeed get a granola, and then there's also a grub spawn in this corner. The grub did not spawn this time, which is very unfortunate. However, this room is still good enough if you get the granola spawn. If you get neither the granola nor the grub, then it's kind of tragic and maybe even worth a restart. This is a room with a guaranteed injector, which is very, very good. You should usually take it if it is one of the two initial rooms that you get, and this is the Barnacle room. Barnacle room is very, very RNG dependent. If you get this secret in the wall right here, sometimes it spawns closed, which makes this room terrible. If it spawns open, like here, then you could potentially get a lot of items out of here. Now, in this secret, only the pill is guaranteed. The injector and the grub are RNG spawns. But this time, Nuke gets every single item, which is very, very lucky. Metabolic Overdrive, one of the two best experimental perks in the game, just what we need. Buys an injector and a grub, which is good. And on to Air Exchange. Ooh, getting grabbed by a Barnacle here is a time loss for sure, but that's okay. No big deal, I suppose. It's only a couple of seconds. Finishes the room, no problem. You can't get a good run going. Oh no. Maybe you should restart like 10,000 times. This is what speedrunners usually do. Ooh, a slight fumble here. Now this room, with a couple of rotating fans and the moving platforms, this is the good one because you can bounce, right, like was demonstrated right here. You can bounce off of slopes to skip the final moving platform part. Unfortunately though, you don't get much items out of that room, though it does have a possible grub spawn. Now this room, I've already talked about it when I was playing. Not the greatest room, however, there is a granola bar at this, and oh, you do not go for the granola. Okay, so in both of these barnacle tunnels rooms, right, where you traverse this tunnel with barnacles with a fan at the end, the final platform in both of these rooms, this one, has a possible granola spawn. So you want to always check that platform once you beat that room to see if the granola is there or not. Hello, Scourge. Oh my god, Scourge. It was so funny to me. Like, I watched like, what, 3 hours of your stream yesterday? And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if you're doing this, all of it today. You should have probably like limited the things you wanted to do. And then of course I wake up, I check your uploads, and instead of the video, it's just that random challenge that was suggested to you. Alright, actually I skipped everything. Okay, so what's going on here? Ruby roaches in the lockers, of course, as you should. Grinding the golden nugget and the hammer, because you do not need the hammer from this point on. Buying an eye and a grub, very good. And nothing else. Yes, nothing else is worth buying here. No injectors, which is very unfortunate. In terms of the perks, we get stasis. Very nice. You got everything but the grindy achievements. Okay, what is the grindy achievements? Just the 2k roaches, I assume? Alright, good entry into the secret, but something happened here, not sure what. Alright, let's see this shoot. Should be okay, because you do have 2 injectors, and 2 injectors is something you really want for shoot. Oh, actually, you have 3. Okay, so you have more than enough. You even have 4 grubs. Very, very good. This should be no problem. Okay, doing good progress. Unfortunate RNG on the cycle there. Oh my god. Okay, it's all good, it's all good, it's fine. As long as you're not dead, it's all good. Okay, the grub is gonna run out soon. Yep, right here. That's fine, good jumps, and that's the explosion shoot. Well done, even though it was slightly unlucky. Double stasis, amazing. In case you're not aware, metabolic stasis is the best perk in the game for completing the campaign quickly. So it is the only perk you want to get in the campaign, in terms of normal perks. Ooh, a slight mistake in the shaft here, but that's okay, good recovery. Should be nice. Facility upgrades. Grubs crushed. I see. Do you even need all the facility upgrades? There's no achievements for that. Do you like... Is unlocking competitive mode something you need to do for 100%? Alright, let's see the spear. So you do have a grub. Oh... Okay, no, this is definitely not okay. This is not okay. So you get to the spear. This is... what is it? I think it's Pier 2, right? So this is Pier 2. You exit the gate and you end up in this kind of a street, so to speak. Now, when you get out here, you want to always go left immediately towards this graffiti and a window, jump or climb over this, and on the other side of this section is a guaranteed injector, and you always want to go there because injectors are gold. Injectors are the best items in this game, so and every pier guarantees an injector somewhere. So I guess except for Pier 3, but that's besides the point. Again, if you get here, you always want to climb over this, grab the injector, and then skip this pier. Can't wait to be roasted for not knowing item spawns. Well, that's why we are here. Isn't that the whole point? I'm gonna tell you what to focus on if you want to get better times. Okay, so the grub did spawn in the vent there. However, it is the correct decision not to go for that grub, because grubs are not very useful in Delta. They are reasonably useful. However, you do not want to stop to get more in Delta Labs. And in the Abyss, they are completely useless. So at this point in the game, the grubs are not very good. Correct decision here to use the grub to skip this room. Again, if you have any grubs left, you want to use them all in Delta Labs. Would a grappling hook work? I'm sure it would work. And I'm sure grappling hook has been like considered by the developers like 10,000 times already. But it's probably not the most interesting item, right? Unless they make it interesting somehow. Okay, slightly fumbling in this vent here, but it can be kind of tricky to do so. That is okay. And this vent is in fact the correct way to go. Not the best room RNG here, so the 2 rooms that you got so far didn't have any injector spawns. Let's see what's gonna be the 3rd room. The 3rd room is the red room, so 0 injector spawns in Delta Labs, which is tragic. Very bad luck. What can you do? What can you do? Sometimes the game is just like that. Growing a lot recently, getting through rooms smoothly. Very, very nice. Very nice. This is what this game is all about. Improving and competing against yourself mainly. Alright, so having a bit of a trouble here with turrets. But that's fine. Again, as long as you're alive, it's all good. And I don't think you lost that much time there because of that small fall. I mean, maybe like 3 seconds or so. Not the end of the world. Any artifact is good enough, because the new meta is to always sacrifice the artifact, which I don't really like, but it's definitely gonna change in the nest. The artifact gets sacrificed immediately for the Overwhelm perk that gives you a decent stat boost and a additional double jump. Oh, that is an amazing vendor. 3 injectors. Wait. Did you have any explosive? Okay, so the mistake you did here. So you have a lot of roaches, right? So 3 injectors there. You could have also bought this explosive rebar in this vendor and thrown the explosive rebar at the big vendor. You could have gotten 2 more injectors. Why drop the injector before the abyss? Not the injector, the flashlight. That's because you do not need the flashlight in the abyss. If you are a casual player, yeah, you do need the flashlight in Dead Man's Handle because it goes dark. However, if you're experienced, you do not need the flashlight here at all. Okay, so 3 injectors going into the abyss, that's a solid amount. That's like the standard for me at least. That is the baseline that you want to enter the abyss with. So you do have 3 injectors, you had a blink eye, and 1 shot in the flare gun. So this is fine. You're crouching midair, this is correct. If you're not aware, when you crouch midair in this game, your air resistance gets reduced, your drag, so you travel further than you would otherwise. Okay, you check the injector spot on top of the Dead Man's Handle. You do get both injectors, which is very, very nice. And from here on out is just not messing up and finishing Hanging Gardens, which should be fine. A very nice transition for you there. Very, very lucky. And on to the final tile. You still have enough boosts active. I think you should be able to finish this, no problem. Could have probably reached the end there if you jumped from the tram. Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay, that's not the end of the world. It's still a sub 9. Okay, very well done. Very, very well done. Sub 9 is very good. Again, anything that's a sub 10 is very, very good in my book. And this is a sub 9, so very well done. Couple of mistakes here and there, but that's okay. You are improving very quickly. A sub 8-minute run soon, perhaps? I will be waiting for that. Would something akin to, what is it, Minecraft competitive speedrunning work, where 2 runners competed on the same seed? Yeah, absolutely. There are seeded runs in White Knuckle. If you install a mod, at least. There's a mod that allows you to properly play with seeded runs, and you could absolutely compete against other players if you so desire. It even has custom leaderboards for each of the seeds. Hello, Elvurum, or is it Ivurum? Welcome to the stream. Here is H-Cube with timestamp. I hope the timestamp works. Alright, let's see. Yeah, let's get rid of the audio. Alright, so this is the beginning. Yes? I hope so. This restart? Alright. Let's see what's cooking. So, the start here is kind of suboptimal. This is the room with a possible pill spawn. Now, the pills are good, obviously. Like, it is probably the best item to get at the very, very start of the game in the first room. However, the problem with this room is that the pill is not guaranteed. It's in this pipe right here, but it's not a guaranteed spawn. And in fact, it's not there, I don't think. Now, technically, there's also a grub in this room, but the grub spawn is kind of out of the way, so it's not very worth to go for it. On to the second room, which has nothing except food. That's not bad. Oh, wait. Where is the start of this run? I have been bamboozled. This is not actually the run. Is this the run? And why does every hates... What? Why does everyone hate seeded runs? I don't think anyone hates them. I think they're just not very popular. Alright, I hope this one is the run. Start with the possible grub and... Oh, you even missed the grub! Oh my god. I hope this is not actually the run. It looks like it is the run. Oh my god. You missed the grub at the very start. This quality is kind of rough. Can I... I cannot. Okay. Alright, so... Yeah. A restart right here, right? Yeah, so... In the very first room you get, there is a possible grub spawn. And it is very, very obvious. Very obvious. Did you see it? Did you see it? Can you see it? Can you see the grub class? While yes, because it's so rare, you kind of mentally forget that it even exists in this room. In the pipe, right here, there's a very low chance for a grub spawn. It's right here. It's just chilling. You skipped that one on purpose? Huh. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's worth skipping. Grubs are very, very, very good. Though perhaps you got your own strats, so I'm not gonna say anything. Now, also, in this room, there's also a pill spawn. It is by the ceiling on the other side, so you get up on this side, and this metal beam. Now, because of the quality, we are looking at pixels here, really. But still, on this metal beam by the ceiling is a possible pill spawn. Now, I think it was the right decision by you not to go for it, even if you are aware of the spawn, because the next room you go into has a guaranteed pill, as well as a possible grub spawn. The grub is indeed here. Oh, wait. Oh my god. This is not the run either? Please. Please. Where is the run? This one, I hope? Okay, on to the possible grub and the guaranteed pill spawn. You don't check for the grub for some reason? Okay, this is not the run either. This is not the run either. Okay, sure, yeah. How many restarts is this gonna take? What a timestamp, right? Okay, this is the barnacle room. The barnacle room again can be amazing or... Oh my god. Can you just tell me the time? What is the time? When does the when does the run start? It says in the link 3 hours 18 minutes, but we are way past that. Okay, well maybe this one is going to be the run. This is a quite suboptimal room which only has a crate with food, and even the food on that crate is not in fact a guaranteed spawn. So this is quite an underwhelming room, but at least it's fairly short. This is again the barnacle room, which can be both bad and good, depending on whether the secret spawns or not. On the second section right here is this wall. Okay, you get all 3 items, which is very, very good. Huge luck there. On to not so great room, which only has food in it, but that's okay because it's fairly short and easy to complete. On to the guaranteed injector room, which is very, very, very nice. You go this way towards the vent, you jump the other way, and on the catwalk is the injector. Now, using both injectors here... Yeah, using this last one was definitely a mistake. You were already injected, and this was the final room of deep storage, so injecting here was a mistake. And injecting here again... Why? I guess that's okay. Yeah, using the grub to skip this one, I can see it. This is a very annoying room to complete. It doesn't really have any items. And oh my god, the foresight. The foresight to use the grub, and it lasts you long enough to get to grub hub as well. Okay. Very, very lucky here. The grub hub here, this room, guarantees 4... I think everything died. Hello? Hello? This is Lini-cuh. Can anybody hear me? Please. Okay, so what did I... Wait, why did it rewind me back so far? Okay, I'm sorry for this little mishap. Something happened. I sold my wife for internet connection. Okay, so this is the beginning. Yep, this is where we left off, right? So, grinding the ruby roaches, grinding the hammer, as well as the... Oh, buying the granola. Oh, no. Why? Okay, while the granola is a very good item to find, it is an amazing item because it refreshes your stamina, gives you a stamina buff, as well as a 8% jump and climb speed bonus. Buying the granola is not very good because it costs 6 roaches, and 6 roaches is a lot for the benefit it provides. So you should probably not buy granolas. Just save your roaches for injectors. Yes, maybe this is rage bait. Okay, let's see this shoot. the chute should be definitely good enough because you do have metabolic stasis as well as a lot of items. Slightly unlucky here, or I should say slight mistakes here, but that's fine. Getting to the button. Now, I don't think this grub will be enough to finish the room, definitely not. But since you have so many grubs, you might as well use another one just to finish the chute quickly. And here we go. Double stasis, that's what you want to see. That's the only thing you want to see. In fact, unfortunately, at the higher levels of speedrunning, you have to kind of restart if you don't get double metabolic stasis. It is boring, it's annoying, but that's just how it is. That is White Knuckle currently, at least if you are playing on a very high level. If you're just playing casually, you absolutely do not need to do that, of course. Now, not using the flashlight here, I guess that's okay. But it can be very much not okay. This is a big gamble, because if you get a wrong tile, the one with a big hole in the wall, and you get thrown off by it without the flashlight, it can be very, very bad for you. But I guess it's fine in this case. All right, pure O2, go for the injector, guaranteed injector on top of the vent here, and then inject and climb up with a grub. Now there are multiple ways you can grub up here. I prefer to go on the right and then curve myself to the left. You can also go to the left, or you can just go straight up and then no, actually straight up is not recommended. Okay, this is a mistake. Now, the mistake does pay off in this case, because this is the nastiest vendor I've ever seen. 4 injectors right here. Okay, so it's not a mistake in this run, right? This is one of the best vendors I've ever seen. But in general, you do not want to go to this vendor because it takes a lot of time to go to it, buy the items, and then go back. And most of the time, it's not going to be as cracked as in this case. But I guess you got very lucky. And you got lucky again with a very good room, which guarantees an injector right here. Now, unfortunately, you also go slightly the wrong way. Okay, so let me rewind here. In this room, you get the injector, you go to this ladder, and then at the end of this ladder, you turn around and you go the other way. The other way is a much more consistent route than going through here. But even going this way is not the end of the world. It just takes longer. Alright, so that room is done, no problem. Yes, your injector, I mean, this vendor is just like, can you ask for much more? 4 injectors from one vendor? Probably not. Alright, getting slightly stuck here. Okay, a chance for another injector right here. You do not get it, very unfortunate. But then again, you did get 4 injectors from the vendor. So maybe that's fine. Now, injecting here, is it worth it? Probably not. I would probably keep all these injectors for the Abyss. But I guess it's not too bad since you still have 1 Delta Labs room remaining. So at least this injector doesn't get wasted entirely, but that's fine. Alright, this is in fact the correct way to go in this room. Slightly fumbling here, but that's okay. Scourge. Yo, Scourge, you still in the chat? Look at the stream. Scourgy. My friend Scourgy. Yes, he's still alive. I'm guessing he's dead. Never mind. Alright, so you do this room, no problem. And that's the end of Delta Labs. So, on to the Abyss. You still have a decent amount of injectors, even right now in your inventory, and you might get even more in the final vendor. Let's see. No, I was just... Scourge always takes the wrong route in the radio room, and I wanted to show him how you do it normally. Alright, so let's see those vendors. So, what do you have here? Grinding the flashlights, but why? Yeah, I don't think it was worth spending the time to grind those injectors or those flashlights, but that's okay. Alright, so you entered the Abyss with 3 injectors. Again, I think this is the baseline. This is the minimal amount you want to have when you enter the Abyss. So this is fine. 3 injectors. You're crouching while flying in between the sections. This is all good. You still have a grub. This grub doesn't do anything. I would probably just drop it, just so it like doesn't interfere with you, doesn't mess with you. But that's fine. Maybe you will fall down at some point and the grub will help you. Probably not, but who knows. There goes the flare gun, and let's see if you get both of the injectors at Deadman's handle here. You do not. Okay. So for those wondering, this injector spot in Deadman's handle. Oh, but you get another injector here. Very lucky. Very lucky to get this as your first style. And to get the injector there as well. But again, that spot in Deadman's handle, it has 2 possible injector spawns, but they're not guaranteed. Both of those injector spawns are 80% each. So while usually they will both be there, usually is not always. So sometimes you get 1, which is very sad, and sometimes you get 0, which is soul crushing. But what can you do? And that is in fact the end of the run. 8:45, a very, very solid time. Very well done. Again, slight mistakes here and there, but I think nothing crazy. I think you are on your way to get like definitely a sub 8. Of course, it's not going to be easy to get a sub 8, but you got it, you know? Just more practice, more runs, and you'll get it. You'll get it, no problem. Now, beyond sub 8, that's up to you. But yeah, good run. Thank you for submitting it. Style points for ending with a grub squish. Well, it didn't die. If it did die, then yeah, I would have added some style points. Okay. So, again, if anybody would like to submit their runs, join my Discord, drop a link to your run in the run submission channel, and as long as it's 30 minutes or less, I will be more than happy to look at it and give you whatever advice you would need to improve. All right. It doesn't seem like we have any new submissions. That means back to the endless. Ooh, Rank Games wants to submit their run. Okay. You will touch the realm of the goats. Of course you will. As long... Oh, what is happening here? I'm playing the game? Okay, let's play the game. Let's play some White Knuckle. Oh. Let's play some White Knuckle. Let's play some Endless. Alright, before I kill the roaches, do I? I do not. Ah, that's sad. This bumps. Alright, I guess that's it. Ooh, lemon roach. Very nice. Very cool. Alright, I'm just not gonna go for those roaches. Screw them. Who likes those roaches anyways? Been keeping daily practice up ever since you started speedrunning. That's how you do it. That's how you become the GOAT. Oh, good old Pipeworks. Everybody loves Pipeworks. Because Pipeworks is the GOAT. Oh! Oh! No. Okay. Hang on. That was just a calculated mistake, you know? Oh, now I can't go up there. Now I have to go this way. Oh, no. Pipeworks is the GOAT, but I'm bad. AMA. And you could use improvement, but I don't speedrun. You don't have to speedrun, you know. I can definitely give you advice on how to get better times. Maybe you want to beat your friends, right? You don't have to necessarily speedrun if you want to, like, any grubs? No grubs. You want to beat your friends, you just want to get a better score on average. You don't have to go for, like, these amazing super cracked times. All you need, or if you just want a better score, I can definitely give you some advice. Again, I prefer watching runs of newer players than those super cracked sub 1 minute runs. I think it is much more interesting to look at people who are just starting or just like playing casually and see them improve than watch the goats, because the goats are not very interesting. Okay, no more stamina items. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, this could be bad. Ugh. Struggling. Struggling. I should have eaten that lemon roach. Your most recent video? Well, if you show me your most recent video... Oh. Oh my god. Alright, give me a second here, fellas. Okay, I'm back, and oh, there's the submission actually. Okay, let me get to the end of this room, just so I don't confuse myself later. Any injectors? Yes, there is an injector here. And the end of this room is right around the corner. Up here. And there we go. This should be the transition. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Alright, let's check out this run. So, there's Grummathy. Now, this was not a scheduled poop break. No, it was not. It was just a phone call. Alright. Oh, that's loud. Okay, let's check it out. We begin with a granola room. This is one of the rooms which give you a granola bar at the start, particularly in this pipe. Now, you are very lucky to get both of the granola spawns, because this pipe does in fact have two separate granola spawns, but each of them has a quite low chance to spawn. Now, while you did go for the correct spawn, you kind of went the incorrect way overall. So, in this room, once you get the granolas, you want to keep going up directly above this pipe. You go this way, which is slower. Once you get the granola, you simply jump to this belt. From this belt, you can bap yourself up to reach the metal beam that supports the monkey bar in the middle. And from this beam, there is a direct way all the way to the end of this room. It is much easier and much simpler than going this way. Change scene. Aren't I... Yeah, I am showing the game. It's all good. This is the pills room, which also technically has a grub, but grub is really out of the way. Kind of an unfortunate room, this one. I don't like it very much. Oh my god, and you are even unlucky enough to get the blood bug spawn in this room, which is funny. Now, after the anniversary update, the blood bug is, of course, very, very rare. It used to be guaranteed here, and blood bugs in general are much less threatening now. So even if you do get a blood spawn there, it is all good. This is another container storage room with a granola at the start here. Unfortunately, you do not get it. So, not the best item luck in deep storage here. So you completed deep storage and you only got granolas, which is not the end of... Okay, you should have definitely picked the perk first and then started buying items, because sometimes you buy too many items and you don't have enough roaches for a perk reroll. But in this case, you did, which is good. Alright, so this is an interesting purchase. So we now have a crap ton of explosive rebar. You use one of these to go in here. Now, so this is one of the... Okay, what am I even controlling right now? Do I accept perkless runs? I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, maybe if it's still campaign. Yeah, probably we could look at it. Maybe, I don't know. It's if there are no other submissions, then yes, I will look at it. All right, so this room, right? This is one of the worst, perhaps the worst Shadow Chambers rooms. This one, because you can't really get any items out of it quickly, and in fact, you need to use items right here usually to get to the top of this room. Now, what I would not recommend, while using the explosive rebar to get up here is good, I definitely do not recommend going into here on your campaign speedruns. This secret is just way too slow to get into and then to get out of it on your campaign runs. And you don't even get any injectors out of it, right? It only guarantees a pill and a granola, and while stamina items are good, this is definitely not worth the time loss to spend in this secret to only get a pill and a granola. So consider not going into this secret next time. Alright, now this is... well, that's funny. So you go from the worst Shadow Chambers room to the absolute best Shadow Chambers room. Here you get 3 possible grub spawns. Each of those 3 is an 80% spawn, so you got 2 out of the 3, which is good. And then right after, there is a... okay, you actually go for it. The delta marked opening in the wall, which has a possible injector spawn and a pill spawn. Now, unfortunately, you do not actually get the injector there, which is actually quite bad. It always hurts not to get the injector there. But what can you do? This room has a possible injector spawn right here. Will you go for it? You do, and you actually do get the injector. Now, I think this is a bit late to inject, because I think this is the final Shadow Chambers room that you're gonna get. So this is like kind of a waste for the injector, but I guess it's not too bad. It's not too... oh, that's a bit of a fumble. If you get more injectors out of the vendors here, then it's gonna be okay. Am I getting paid for this? No, this is this is just free coaching. I am not getting paid for this. Maybe I should start charging people. Okay, so you should grind the roaches before you shop. Yeah. It's a good idea to grind the bugs first and then go shopping. Okay, I'm guessing this is a slightly older run, right? Because the ruby roach bug is still here. There used to be a bug where these ruby roaches would always fly out of the crusher. Oh, and you even misclick and buy an autobaton because of it. Wowee, that's unfortunate. Okay, so basically what we have here is a massive loss of time in the interlude here. This interlude took way longer than it should have. This would have honestly like been a restart. This is like an easy restart, but let's keep going. So you get metabolic stasis, which is of course amazing. Now, the 2 extra blink eyes, I'm not sure if there will be any good use for them for now. They will be useful later on, but for now they will be kind of a dead weight. You're also... oh, I only just realized. So you're playing without bindings, right? So you only have the golden nugget. It would be advisable, if you want to go for these like crazy speedrun times, to also enable the half inventory binding. So you can bring not only the golden nugget, but also the Moonrocks trinket. Because Moonrocks is absolutely overpowered. It is likely getting nerfed next update. So if you want to get good times, you better abuse it while it's still good. Yeah, so it is done on the buggy patch, I see. Alright, let's see about this shaft. You skip the flare gun, which is good. Now, technically, if you're playing without half inventory, you don't have to skip the flare gun, but yeah, I don't think it's worth picking up in either case. If you do pick up the flare gun, even without the half inventory, the flare gun adds the flare ammo spawn to the vendor. And these ammo spawns can obviously interfere with trying to get the injectors out of vendors. So you really do not want to have a flare gun in your inventory until you get to the abyss. Alright, this is the Pier 4, the electric pier. So you go straight up. Again, this is a mistake. So 3 out of 4 piers in this game guarantee an injector, and this is one of them. Electric pier right here has a guaranteed injector. To get to it, as soon as you exit here, first, if you have no stamina items, you want to go left, check the dumpster on the left, which has a possible granola spawn. And then you go here to this pillar on the right, use the grub, and climb straight up. Once you climb about halfway up the structure, there will be like a connecting scaffolding in the middle, and on top of the scaffolding will be an injector, which you can take and then finish skipping the spear with your grub. Going straight up while faster technically also means you lose on a guaranteed injector, which is something you never want to lose in your campaign speedruns. And you go for the grub in the vent, which is a mistake. As I've said, I think grubs are not useful enough in Delta Labs. And you also go for this vendor, which is also, I think, a mistake. Because this vendor takes too long to get to, and then to get back from. Once you get here, it is in your best interest on most of your runs to just go straight into this vent and keep going. Okay, using the blink eyes here is good if you can actually use them properly to skip these vents. A very good first room, it guarantees an injector. Although, on the other hand, this room does take a while to finish, even though it guarantees an injector. You go the correct way. Now, hopefully you don't get grabbed here. Okay, well done. And then you need to actually use the injector right here, or some kind of a boost, to reach the top of this. Actually, you have a blink eye. Though I suppose you might as well have used the grub, since you do need to use the grubs in Delta Labs, because after Delta Labs, the grubs will be useless. On to another good room, because there is a possible injector spawn here, however you skip it. Alright, so in this room, at the start, this is the electric, right? The electric ballroom, the balls device room, as I like to call it, and many people do as well. So this is the very start of this room, right? Plasma agitator, graffiti on the wall, a lamp, and the very first vent that you can reach in this room. You want to go towards this vent and climb it. There is this wider section, like halfway up this vent, and on this wider section, on the opposite side of it, the one that's facing the wall, is a possible injector spawn. You always want to check it, because again, injectors are everything. Okay, so I'm wondering, what? Oh, you were looking for the exit. I think as soon as you got to that middle section, you should have simply climbed the closest pillar to you. Climb the pillar first, and then look for the exit. In fact, the exit was right above you. Right? The exit was right up there. But that's fine. Alright, and that's that. Oh, never mind, I thought that was the end. One more room. Now, this room is unfortunately not as good as the other two, because this room doesn't give you any items to work with, aside from a food can at the very start. You skip this room by going into this particular vent, which can be very fast if you are injected or have a grub. But again, the problem is you don't get any items out of it. And that's the end. So now we go into the abyss with, what, like 2 injectors in the pocket? Let's hope you will get at least one more from the vendors. Otherwise, it will be a little bit sad. Any artifact is good enough, as they are getting sacrificed anyway. Okay, 2 injectors right there off the bat. Very nice. Artifact goes into the dumpster. Almost. Into the dumpster. There we go. The tram gets cold, and then let's see. One injector here. I think two more. Oh my god, that is massive. Okay, so 7 injectors. Starting Abyss with 7 injectors is, simply put, like, just absolutely amazing. And you don't only have 7 injectors, but also 2 blink eyes. This is, like, you couldn't ask for better RNG. Now, on the other hand, your Metabolic Overdrive also ran out, which is not the end of the world. Metabolic Overdrive doesn't increase your horizontal speed, right? Metabolic Overdrive... Oh, you went to the wrong side here. Okay, thank god you realized your mistake, and you did get both injectors. So yes, Metabolic Overdrive only increases your jump height and your climb speed. While jump height is, like, good in the Abyss, what you really care about in the Abyss is horizontal speed. And because that perk doesn't give you any horizontal speed, running out in the Abyss is not a problem at all as long as you have injectors. Now, the thing I'm not seeing here, while this is a very good Abyss, obviously, I do not see you crouching midair at all. Have you been crouching midair for at least one of the jumps? No. So you are just constantly not crouched. Whenever you're doing this, flying across the Abyss, make sure to always be crouched when midair. Because again, whenever you're crouched, your air resistance gets reduced, your drag, and you travel further than when you are not crouched. That is the only thing to point out. Alright, 11:27. A respectable time. I wonder how much time you lost from just sitting there in interlude lockdown. So let's see, you enter lockdown at... Okay, yeah. Let's count from the very moment you get into it. 3:20. Let's say it's 3:20, right? And then you exit. Where's the chute? And you enter into the chute at 4:50. Yeah. That's a huge loss of time. I think this is this was probably the biggest time loss in this entire run. This is probably something you need to work on, just like getting used to like getting things done in the interlude as quickly as possible, because this was a huge loss of time. No, like no two ways about it. Definitely try to work on that. Otherwise, I think your gameplay is good, very good even. You can definitely, like, you can get much better times very easily. I think you just need slightly more practice to get used to managing all the items and recycling and whatnot, and hitting the item spawns. Yeah, the bug as well. But not only the bug, I think there were a couple of hiccups as well. But yeah, you can definitely do so much better. So thank you for the submission. And I think I will be seeing you hit like sub 10 times very shortly. I think you got it. You got that beast in you. All right, do we have... Oh, we do have, in fact, a brand new submission. This one is from Fid. And Lil Kenty too. Well, Fid was first, so... Unfortunately for you, Lil Kenty, we're looking at Fid first. A 25-minute run. Let's see. Let's see what's cooking here. 25 minutes, 23 seconds of skill issue. Well, we will be the judges of that. The quality is not the greatest, so this might be a little painful for you fellas, but... Wait, did my Twitch chat break? Yo, if anyone's in the Twitch chat, can you like just send any message at all? Oh, never mind. Okay, it's still live. Because it was just an empty, I assumed it was just completely broken after that little loss of connection I had. Okay, okay, it's all good. It's all good. False alarm. Yes, hello. All right, it's all good. All right, let's see what you got going on this. This is my favorite type of run. The runs that are close to 30 minutes, these are my absolute favorite. Because they're always different, right? These 30-minute runs, people always play in their own different ways, and it is always so interesting to see, unlike super good speedruns where people always play the same and it's like you're just watching the same thing over and over and over again. Now, so let's talk about the rooms specifically, I suppose. So the first room you get is nothing special at all. This room doesn't really give you much. Now, I will say at the very start of this room, there is a free food can right there, obstructed by your transparent hand on this crate. There is a guaranteed food can. You might as well grab food. You know, if if the game gives you nothing else but a can of beans, well, you might as well grab a can of beans because like you will run out of stamina eventually. And unless you have like you are really allergic to using beans, I think it's good to have like at least one can pocketed. This room as well. I think in fact it is this box right there that has a bean spawn. Yep, there it is. Now you of course cannot see it at all because the can is gray and it blends into the gray background, but the can is there. It is worth like keeping one can of food in your pocket. Now, good usage of batons here. That is well done. I like that. I guess you could climb it from this side by using a rebar since you have it, but like usually you want to jump to the opposite side, right? The opposite side, there's another platform just like this on the opposite side, and that one you can actually climb much more easily. Though I guess this is fine, like this way you get straight to the end of the room and don't have to climb the rotating platform, so it's fine. It's cool. Using the items is always good. Alright, this is one of the container storage rooms, and right off the bat, unfortunately you missed the granola spawn. Now, so these container storage rooms, right? I'm sure you remember that there's like two of them and they look very similar. Alright. Went back a little bit too much, but that's fine. This container storage room, the one which has a couple of boxes, a small one and a big one, it has this opening. Come on, come on, turn the camera. In the first row, it has this opening. At the very beginning of the first row, it has an opening with a big box under it. If you don't have the Moonrocks trinket or the Reach trinket, if you do have those, you can just jump directly and grab the lip here and pull yourself up. If you don't have it, you can jump onto the big box, from the big box to a piton that's around here, and then into this opening. You want to go there into this opening because it has a possible granola spawn in it. And granola is a very, very, very good item that buffs your stamina, refreshes your stamina, gives you a jump buff and a climb speed buff. Now, I like this route. This route is cool, just using pitons casually. And you know the cool thing is, if you go this route, while this is not the best route by any stretch of the imagination, if you end up here, there is, right there, is a possible grub spawn. It is a very low chance. I think it's like 10% if not lower, but you do end up right next to it, which is, I think it's cool. This is the granola room. You climb this initial path of handholds, right? And you want to stop. You don't really go towards the ladder. You want to go to on the other side. You stop at this handhold right before the end of this path of handholds. You stop at this handhold, and then from it, let's see if we can see it. From that handhold that I just showed you, you can jump and grab either the upper or the lower lip of this pipe. And this pipe is very important because inside of this pipe is two separate granola spawns. Again, granola spawns are very, very important. Granolas are great items. And then if you get that granola from that pipe, you can finish the entirety of this room by just going up right above that pipe. If you're wondering about the exact route, you could look at my white knuckle guide. I think I illustrate how to do that route in that video. And that is Pro Fuzzy. The big Pro Fuzz is here. Please welcome everyone, the Short King, the Masochist King, the Pro Fuzz, the Big Fuzz. Okay, what I really like about your gameplay, even though you're not going like the quote-unquote correct routes, I do like how much you use items to like make your own paths, so to speak. I really, really like that. While these routes of yours are not exactly the best, I do like them very much. All right, now, so what you could have done instead here, instead of trying this for half an hour. So once you get to this platform, let's go back frame by frame by frame by frame. There is a rebar spawn here. It doesn't spawn here always, but if you don't have any rebar, it can help you. So if you, there are in fact two possible rebar spawns here. If you get a rebar here, you get in this exact position where you are right now, this exact position. You hold the edge of this long metal thing that the game wants you to climb horizontally. You hold onto it, you equip the rebar in your other hand, you jump, and you throw the rebar right below you. That gets you all the way to this handhold above you. And that way, you skip this entire room. So you're trying to do the same thing, but with a piton, which is considerably more challenging. I would recommend you to try and practice doing this exact same thing just with a rebar. I think it is much easier and much faster with a rebar. I'm forgetting a word before short. What is that? You are the Short King, aren't you? The Short King. I guess you're now also the long form king after the movie, but I guess that's included in the Masochist King. Employee Motivator is, while not a meta perk by any stretch of the imagination, it is still a very, very, very solid perk. So if you just like taking it because you like its effect, there's nothing wrong with that. It's still a very, very nice perk. Now this is the best room in Shadow Chambers that you get right here. It is the best room because once you get in here, you go this way, as you do, and then once you get to these angled panels at the start of this room, you want to check that pitch black corner. Now, in case you don't want spoilers, I'm not gonna say what's in that corner, but it is very, very important for both speedruns and casual play. You really want to go and see what's in that corner. Okay, so what word am I missing then? What new title do you have, Profus? Okay, and then of course, after you check that corner and whatever is there, you want to go this way and go towards the delta mark, because this spot right here has a pill. Now, funnily enough, this pill is not guaranteed. It is a 98% chance spawn, and right here is a possible injector spawn, which I think is like 40% or something. It's decent, but it's not always gonna be there. Now, technically, there's also a granola spawn at the very end of this room, but that granola spawn is kind of awkward to get to. If you're playing casually, it is worth grabbing, maybe. But for speedruns, it is not worth it. If you're wondering, that granola spawn is behind this big pipe at the end of this room. In that dark corner is a granola spawn, but it is also not guaranteed. Oh, YouTube Shorts King, of course, of course. Now, of course, after the best room in Shadow Chambers, you get the worst room in Shadow Chambers. This room sucks because while it does have a good chance for a vendor here, Uh, you can't really get good items out of this room quickly. And in fact, if you want to finish this room quickly, you need to use items. Now, going this way is a big mistake. If you go this way in this room, you lose infinite time. So what you want to do instead is you climb this initial ladder if you have items. And then, if you even have a single rebar or even a piton or anything that can boost you, you want to boost yourself either up there and grab those panels on the right, or boost yourself that way. There's also like a couple of panels and pipes on the left side. You need to use whatever you have to boost yourself to the upper sections from here. That way you can skip this entire room. Again, I showcased that in my Knuckle guide. If you actually go this way, the quote-unquote intended way to do this room, this takes so long that it's just like, oh, is this even worth playing at this point? Now, of course, technically, if you do go this way, there are a couple of items you can grab. But if you go the other way, there are also a couple items you can grab if you so desire. So yeah, just try to never go this way. Just never ever go this way. Try boosting yourself from the beginning of this room to the upper section straight away. Just so you skip this long horizontal jumping section. Now we get to one of the red crusher rooms. And this one is not that great. The other one is much better. This one is still okay because here you can get a possible injector spawn. Now unfortunately you just skip it entirely. To get to the injector spawn in this room, you climb up as you did here, and this vent. This vent, the first vent you come across in this room. At the very end of it, by the wall, there is a food can spawn on it. The food is guaranteed there in the corner. But right next to that bean can is a possible injector spawn on this vent. You always want to go on that vent and see if the injector is there. Aside from that injector, you don't get anything out of this room except for food, for bean cans, which is, you know, not great. Not terrible either, I suppose. If you get the injector here, it's very nice. If you don't get the injector in this room, then it's kind of bad, dare I say so. But I suppose at least it allows you to refill your stamina with food. You will have your run ready by next stream? Well, I will be waiting for that. I will be waiting. Okay, still well done. I think you did that room pretty well. And now we go on to Interlude Lockdown. So, grind the thing, the roach. Probably would be worth grinding the items you have here. They're probably not all that good. Yeah. Probably worth getting rid of that rebar. Now, let's see. Do you actually go expulsion shoot here, or will you just go straight into pipeworks? Oh, you're not using... Hang on. You're not using the item lockers? Oh, you're playing casual mode, I guess. Not competitive mode. Okay, that's fine. When you play competitive mode, you can, like... always have those lockers filled on every single run of yours. So for speedruns specifically, competitive mode is much better. But of course you don't have to play competitive. You can just play casually. Alright, now, something about this section, I'm not sure if you're aware. At the top of this elevator shaft is a secret. It has a grub, an injector, and a pill. Now obviously you want to go there using either a grub or an injector. But even the 2 rope rebar that you had would have been enough. You can get up there with just 2 rope rebar, which you had. So maybe you should have used those to get up there. Now you did get rabbit DNA, which is a very, okay, very, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. It's a very good perk. Obviously, it's not as cracked as metabolic stasis, which is, you know, the perk that all the speedrunners always get. But rabbit DNA is still a very strong perk, especially if you go pipeworks like you do here. It is absolutely amazing in these horizontal sections like the pipes, because you can just spam it in pipes and you will bounce yourself up and down and clear all the horizontal sections very quickly. Alright, now this room technically has a better route to go at the start, which has a grub and a pill, I think, but that's fine. Those are not guaranteed spawns, if I remember correctly, so get to the top here, no problem. The blood bugs in this update, after the anniversary updates, the blood bugs have become very stupid. You should just always ignore them. Even if they hit you, they will not knock you off of handholds, they will just deal stamina damage. And they are insanely stupid as to where they will lose sight of you almost immediately. So you should always just ignore blood bugs. Just let them follow you for a while, they will forget about you very quickly. Okay, now completing this room, you did go the right way initially, and then here all you want to do is just ride a barnacle to the very end of the room. Although doing this is also okay. Yes, the end of this room is in fact a horizontal pipe, which can be very confusing. And that's just something you need to keep in mind. Okay, it is... Oh, okay, you noticed the injector, thank God. You always want to go this way in this waste heap room because of this possible injector spawn. And then in the middle there's also the grub spawn, which, funnily enough, you did not notice, as well as the pill spawn right here. Now, you did get the pill, but, you know, the grub is hidden in plain sight, as they say. Now, it's not very hard to notice, right? Bing chilling. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Red arrows, red arrows. Player misses grub. It's Jover. But yes, in this room here, I think there are in fact 2 separate grub spawns here, but both of them are like insanely rare. The pill up here, and that's it. You want to just finish this room once you grab all these items. Now, since you have Rapid DNA, you can just jump to the end. If you don't have Rapid DNA or like double jump perks, you can jump on top of the gas bags and they will launch you straight up into the end of this room. Barnacles did become very annoying, and again, I don't really like this rebalancing that was done in the anniversary update, where blood bugs have become insanely weak. They are nowhere near the threat that they were before. Now, on the other hand, barnacles have turned into absolute killing machines. I think something milder would have been better. Some, like, more moderate balance adjustments, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, that's quite awkward. Ooh, that's quite awkward. What are you gonna do? Yeah, that's a bit of a... You could have... You know, you honestly could have just jumped with RDNA to the very end of this room, but that's fine. Yeah, missing grubs is always very, very unfortunate. On to Pipework, and I think this is going to be what the last room of Pipeworks. And this one is actually pretty good. There are a lot of item spawns in this room, although they are somewhat hidden. So you go the correct way, in fact, this is the way you want to go, and then you want to make your way to the other side of this room before finishing it. Now, I assume you will just finish it, yep, but before you do that, now it is of course questionable whether you want to do it or not on speedruns, but when you go to the other side of this room, you know, you kind of want to leave straight away, but if you don't leave straight away, if you go to that side, there are 3 separate explosive rebar spawns on this side of the room, and also 2 grub spawns. Now, none of these items are guaranteed, but potentially getting 2 grubs there is pretty important, especially if you have no grubs and you are planning on skipping the interlude ascent. In fact, here comes ascent and you have no grubs. Oh, that is bad. Okay, you don't forget about the injector, which is very nice. Injectors are so important. But the problem is, you have no grubs. And that means skipping this room is out of the question. Oh, the blink eye. The blink eye was worth buying here, I think. With the blink eye, you could have skipped at least a part of this room. But I suppose that's fine. You could have skipped the final section with the blink eye. Even this is okay. Now, I wonder, I don't think it is worth to go this way. I think it is faster. Okay, so basically, I'm not gonna spend like 10,000 hours explaining this. There is a much simpler route that I illustrate in my anniversary update overview video. Now, I'm assuming here you are just skipping the elevator completely. Oh, in this case, you should have definitely bought the blink eye. Oh, why didn't you? So if the plan was to skip the elevator completely from the get-go, why didn't you buy the blink eye? The blink eye would have made it so much easier in this final section. Oh, wait, you're not skipping? Oh, okay, so you're just going to the final button and then waiting? Ah, that's what it is. Alright, so here is something you can absolutely do. So you are definitely, like, you're good enough to skip most interludes, right? I assume. And get to the final sections. So if you do that, if you skip all the way to the end here, why not skip the entirety of this room? Why not use 2 rebars to jump to the hatch and then pull yourself up into the final section, and then use like 1 rebar to get to the end of it completely, skipping the elevator entirely. Or if you bought the blink eye, you could have just blinked to the hatch here, and then used 1 more charge in the final section to blink to the exit. I think you could have definitely done that. And you would have finished this section so much quicker as well. And you would have gotten more style points, because, you know, skipping the elevator completely gives you so many style points. That is something you can brag about to your friends who are noob players. Imagine your friends are taking the elevator while you're skipping it completely. Now that's some aura. Okay, so the elevator. Oh, you decide to go for the crane. Now, something to say about the crane. So, while getting up here is very good, or I should say, while the items up here are very good, the problem with getting up here is that it wastes a lot of time. Now, again, if you're not necessarily playing for time, this is fine. You obviously want to always go here because there are just free items here. The guaranteed grub, guaranteed save disk. Explosive rebar and granola, I think, right? Yeah, explosive rebar and granola up here. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Okay. Oh. Still alive. Still alive. Alright. Now, while this was obviously not that great, I think at this point you might as well have climbed it again and grabbed the other explosive rebar, since you already dedicated the time to get up there. Ligament restructure, a very good perk. Nothing wrong with taking that, especially considering it only costs 5 roaches. A grub here. Grubs are good, obviously. They will help you in the shaft, and they will help you in the pier if you keep at least 1 for the pier. You know, it's not the biggest blunder. Like, yeah, you didn't get 2 explosive rebar, but, you know, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So, attempt to skip the grub here, or skip the shaft with the grub. I'm sure you've seen that in speedruns. Maybe you haven't, but when you do this, right? When you try to skip shaft with the grubs, do this. Use the grub, use the injector and the pills or the granola, and then jump towards these flat, wide rails and just follow them until the very end of the shaft. These wide flat rails are very easy to climb and follow. Use them as your guides because these guys, they go all the way to the end of the shaft. Follow these. Do not follow these like awkward, tall, long rails. Just follow these. Oh, it is one of your worst shafts ever? Oh, wow. How bad can it get? Let's see. How bad can it truly get? So, you know, obviously not the best use of the grub here. It ran out at this point. Getting slightly stuck. Now, getting this container tile in the middle is obviously just unlucky. It always sucks to get this tile, but what can you do? Oh my god, Aaron subscribed for 2 months. You know, not 1 month, but 2 months for some reason. Well, hey, I'm not gonna argue. Money don't grow on trees. They are hard to come by. So I appreciate your support very much. Thank you very much, Aaron. You know, honestly, like, you said this was one of your worst shafts ever. I don't think it's bad. Of course, it's not a good, per se. Oh, never mind. Well, now I see it. Okay, so... now I'm starting to get it. Okay, now I see it. So, it was fine before, but I think now I see it. Yeah, now I see it. Now I definitely see it. Did you see it? Did you see it? Now I did. The panic sets in. The buttons are getting mashed. The camera is shaken around in frustration. But at least the shaft is completed. Oh yes. Profuzz knows all there's to know about teeth. Is the teeth guide out yet? Did you do a short on teeth or no? Alright, so Pier 2. Again, I've already explained this on the stream, but I'll explain it again for you. When you get to this pier, which like lets you out onto a street surrounded by buildings, in this pier, you always want to go left. There is this window with a graffiti. You want to climb over them and then drop back down. On the other side of this section is a guaranteed injector. And not only a guaranteed injector, but also a guaranteed item box and a flare box if you care about those. There's a lot of items at the very beginning of this pier, and you should always go for them. All piers have these like good item spawns, and it would be very good for you if you actually learned the item spawns in these piers. Because again, they are quite good. Just not very obvious. Still, you are making very good progress with good use of RDNA right here. It is good that you actually use RDNA. A lot of people tend to forget that they have RDNA at all after they pick it. So, well done here. Will this be turned into video format? Well, I think this works better as like stream content, I think. I don't think this is very engaging for videos. Maybe if I like do a Patreon or something in the future, and then I could like record these dedicated separate videos for people who are subbed or something like that, but I don't think this is very interesting for most people. These like run reviews. I probably don't want to put them on the main channel just like that. Alright, so this is a very unfortunate room. This is the evil room. It has hands, it has turrets, and it has very little items. All the items that you get in this room is 2 flares. Actually, no, it's... Is it? Yeah, it's 2 flares and 1 bean can. While the flares and the bean can be somewhat useful, you don't get anything else out of this room. It can be very scary, very confusing, very hard to complete. So, it is very unlucky to get it, but at least you do it fairly well. No problem here. but I gave useful tips. Oh, you're gonna give me $0? Hell yeah. You know, maybe if people give me $0 1 trillion times, then I'm gonna be quite wealthy, I think. Just gotta do it enough. And then I will be the wealthiest Knuckle YouTuber of all time. And streamer, I guess, as well, I guess. The red room, also sort of unlucky. Now, so this room, the red room, which has turrets all around that try to shoot you, and you have to like hide from them by climbing the middle section. Oh my god. A frontal assault on the turret. That is not recommended. So this room doesn't really have any items, any useful items, except this first opening, the very first opening with the turret, the very first opening that has a turret. You see this? You see this vent? There is something very cool in there. So if you're just playing sort of casually and you get up here in the span of 30 seconds of entering this room, you should check out what's inside of this vent. You should definitely see what's in there. It's not very good for speedruns, not at all, but it is very cool. But again, you don't really get any good items out of this room. And by good items, I mean injectors. So this is not a very good room to get. Alright, so something I really don't like you do. I really don't like this. This is bad. This will often end in you dying. Just ignore the turrets in this room. Just like climb past them in this middle section. Just ignore them completely. And if they are giving you trouble, crouch while you climb. If you just crouch while you climb, they will not be able to see you and they will not fire at you. Now, crouching while climbing will slow you down massively, but I think that's better than frontally attacking turrets and hoping you don't die. Oh, Scourge is back. Ah, Scourge, you missed a section of a speedrun I wanted to show you. To educate you a little bit. Okay, now this, on the other hand, is a very, very, very good room. Because this room guarantees an injector. Now, I'm not sure if you know about it. I'm assuming you do not, because yeah, you're about to skip this entire room. Let's rewind some more. Even some... Okay, so you exit the vent, you enter this room. Right there is a vent. Opposite of the entrance, right by the lip that separates the upper section from the lower section, there is a vent right here. A box-shaped vent. On top of it, there is always an injector. Will we be able to see it? Well, you can almost see it. It's right there. This box-shaped vent has an injector on it. Always. No matter if you play fast or slow, you should always get it. Again, injectors are the best items in the game. Oh, Scourge went out to get lunch and missed an opportunity to learn. What I need to do to analyze my run? You just need to follow the Discord link that's in the descriptions or is getting sent by the bot in the chat. Join the Discord. There is a run submissions channel and send a link to your run and I will be happy to look at it as long as it's 30 minutes or shorter. Oh, and it has to be campaign. I am only looking at campaign runs. Okay. Oh, are you actually gonna use the artifact? That's cool. Okay, we're actually gonna see some artifact gameplay. Bind the injector, very nice. Injectors are the highest priority items when it comes to purchasing them. Do you have the altar fixed? You do, right? Okay, so your altar is fixed, yet you choose not to sacrifice the artifact, is that it? Wait, what is going on here? So you're dropping flares. But why? Okay, so you definitely had inventory space to carry those extra, not the roaches, the flares. So why do you leave them here? Flares are insanely strong in the Abyss. If you're not sure when to use them, as soon as you get into the Abyss, just like spam them behind you. Just jump, shoot behind you, jump, shoot behind you. Just waste all of them immediately if you're not sure when to use them. And then, since you have your altar fixed, right? I think this is fixed, right? Because before you fix it, it's like broken. This stone is broken. So since you fixed your altar, now you don't have to do this. You do not. But if you're trying to get better times, it is always worth it to sacrifice your artifact right here. Instead of the artifact, you get the Overwhelmed perk that gives you 8% buffs to your stats and a double jump. It also reduces your maximum stamina, but it only reduces it by 33%, which is like essentially nothing in the Abyss, because you don't use stamina in the Abyss. However, it is much cooler to actually use the artifact, and I am kind of excited to see how you use it. Oh, you never sacked remote? Okay, base. Let's see. Let's see what you do with it. Now, you have Rabbit DNA, and Rabbit DNA is... It is perhaps the best perk for Abyss. Now, obviously, Metabolic Stasis with injectors is still better. But I think standalone on its own, Rabbit DNA is like the best perk to have for Abyss. And you should be spamming it as often as you possibly can. Like, you shouldn't be walking here, right? As soon as you land, you should be jumping. You should be RDNA jumping. You should always be spamming RDNA. It is a good idea to inject as well. So I agree with that. You should always be injected when traveling through the Abyss. Kind of criminal underuse of Rabbit DNA here. Rabbit DNA with a double jump would get you so far, but unfortunately it seems you forgot that you have RDNA. It is very sad to see. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Rabbit DNA just sits there in your perk slot, not getting used at all. Alright, will you go for the injector spawn? Let's see. You do go to the correct side, I think. But you don't go for the injectors? Was that the correct side? Actually, let me double check. So you jumped to the tram side. Yeah, that was the correct side. So the injectors are right here, on the outer section of this building. There are 2 injector spawns, like right there, on the other side of this building. And you almost... What is this? Is this rage bait? So you go to this building, and you even look. Like, right now, you are looking almost directly at the injector spawns. I think they're like more to the left, down there. But you're looking directly at the injector spawns, and then you're like, nah. Cringe injectors. What am I, a meta slave? Nah, I'm going my own path. You have zero clue what the translocator does? It teleports you like the blink eye. You need to hold down the button and then release it, and it will teleport you in the direction where you're aiming. It is exactly the same as the blink eye. The only difference is that it teleports you slightly further. I think so the blink eye is 15 meters and translocator is 20 meters, right? Something like that. I just remember that it's 5 meters longer, the teleport. And it's rechargeable, although it only has 1 charge. 1 charge every 20 seconds. Alright, so you not using RDNA is just heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking. You went into the Abyss, and you did use it at the start, and then you just completely forgot about it. It's the remote. The remote, took up all your mental capacity, and you forgot about Rabbit DNA. Oh god. If only you sacrificed the artifact. I think, while artifacts are cool, you would have done so much better if you just sacrificed the artifact. And you would have had Rabbit DNA with the double jump. That would have been so good. But as is, you're kind of mentally overloaded and you're forgetting about Rabbit DNA. What's these white things he's grabbing onto? You mean... this this artifact, the remote, has 4 charges. Each charge takes 20 seconds to recharge. It creates these white handholds right in front of you, wherever you're aiming. These white handholds, they reduce stamina drain while you are holding onto them, and when you jump off of them, they give you a boost in the direction that you're jumping in. It's not the best of it's not the best of artifacts, but it's solid. I think it gets better the slower you play. The slower you play, the more value you will get out of it. You were getting exhausted by the end of the run. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. Like you just had too many things to play with. You had to like remember about the flare gun, the syringes, about the remote, the RDNA. So you just forgot about RDNA, which is again very unfortunate. If you were just using RDNA here, oh, you could have beaten this abyss so much faster. And I guess another piece of advice. Let's go back to the start of the abyss. So whenever you are doing these like, oh, you were using it at the start. It's so sad that you stopped. Whenever you are making long jumps in the abyss while boosted by injectors, you always want to be crouched midair. Whenever you are like flying through like big distances horizontally, you want to always be crouched. The reason is, again, whenever you're crouched midair, your air resistance gets reduced. Your drag is lowered, so you travel further than you would otherwise. So that's I think it only becomes relevant when you are like really overdosed on drugs and you're like really know what you're doing and you're just constantly flying. It's not. I don't think it would have helped you that much this run, especially since you don't use RDNA here. But it's just something to maybe keep in mind. Other than that, let's see, what's the result? The result is 25 minutes. You know, um, honestly, very good gameplay. Probably this time is probably even too high for you, right? Like at this point, you just play a little bit more. You spend 10 more hours in White Knuckle. You just practice, and you will probably decrease this time by like at least 10 minutes. You can get so much better times. You have great potential, Fid. I can't wait to see it realized, but hey, thank you for the submission. A good run. Alright, so you remember when you started playing, you were genuinely terrified of teeth. I was too. Teeth was like the scariest section of the entire game. Right now, Delta Labs kind of sucks. Delta Labs sucks because of hands. I think hands are the most annoying when you're a new player. They are very fair. Like, if you know where they are and you look at them, they will never grab you. They are very fair. You just need to have experience. You need to remember where they spawn and where they come out of, because they always come out of the same exact spots in every room. You just need to like have a mental map of each room and where the hands come out of, so you know where to look exactly. You missed the notification? Oh no. Was my least favorite part of the game? I don't know. I think game good. What's the plan if I start going Mach 5 throughout the Abyss? I don't know. Fly directly into the next update. Just skip the Abyss, fly into the nest, fly into the power station. Sounds very weird out of context. It does, yes. You're welcome, you're welcome. I'm here to analyze your stuff. That's my purpose here. Yes, please do submit your next runs. I will be more than happy to look at them. All right, so Lil Kenty next. Lil Kenty's next with a 909, and then there's Cuck. Oh, okay. Is there time to send your run? I don't know. Maybe. Even if you send it and I don't watch it, we will watch it next stream, which is gonna be tomorrow. All right, let's watch a Lil Kenty's run. A Lil Kenty cooking with a 909 here. Now, before we do, give me like a second, because nature calls. Okay, I'm back. The nature has been satisfied. The call has been answered. Is the stream over? No, it's not. I'm still reviewing the runs. What's my favorite part of the game? The climbing. Obviously. The climbing mechanics of this game are by far the best part about it. It's a little bit of a troll run. Well, let's see. Fun fact, if you ever get annoyed by the vent things in Dot Labs, check a rebar into its mouth. It only works with explosive rebar, I think. Regular rebar doesn't kill it, I think. Alright, let's see what's cooking. So, we begin with a room with a possible grub and a guaranteed pill spawn. Now, this is the wrong way to go. Or actually, wait. Is it because of the FOV? Oh, this high FOV, it looks so weird. Yeah, this is in fact the platform where the grub spawns. I just didn't recognize it. So no grub, but the pill is guaranteed, so it's impossible to miss here. The pill will be used and stamina will be not an issue anymore. On to the container storage room, which has a possible granola spawn right here. The granola has not been acquired. There is also a possible grub spawn here, however it has been skipped, I suppose, to save on time. I would probably check for it, but that's fine. This is another room with a possible grub spawn. Is the grub there? Can we even see it, I wonder? So you get up here, and I think you flick your mouse upwards. I can't really see the pipe from here. Okay, I think it's not there. So the grub did not spawn, and there is also a possible injector on top of this lamp post. And the injector is not there either, which is tragic. So that means all you got from deep storage, well, I think there's one more room, but so far it's not looking great. Only the pill from the entirety of deep storage. Oh, never mind. Here comes the best room in deep storage. This one is the best room because it always guarantees getting an injector and a pill in this slightly hidden section in the back of it. This is the only room in deep storage that guarantees both a pill and injector, hence why it is the best. Conditioned Polyphagia, on paper the absolute best perk, experimental perk in this entire game, because of absolutely incredible stat boosts that it gives you when your hunger bar is full. However, the trade-off is that these insane stat boosts only function while the hunger bar is completely full. As soon as this first small section expires, the very first section, once that's empty, the boosts are down to like 5% or so. So with this perk, while it is insanely busted, you also need to constantly consume beans or other food items to keep it active. If you can do that, then you will enjoy 40 to 50% boosts to most of your stats. You did get the injector in this room, which is very nice. Actually, wait, was the grub not there in this pipe? Oh, you didn't get a grub here. That grub is like an 85 or 80% chance spawn, if I remember correctly, in that pipe, and not getting it is so unlucky. Now, on the other hand, you did get the injector, which is arguably better. I think it's better to get injectors rather than grubs, because you can kind of work around not having grubs in most sections. However, not all of them, so ultimately you still do need grubs. So not going for the grub spawn in this room either. In case you don't know, in this room, at the very start of this room, there is, if you turn around and go the other way, there's a platform up above, which has a possible grub and pill spawn, which can be nice. Unfortunately, none of those are guaranteed. And here comes Interlude Lockdown. When you found out you hated this perk, yeah, I don't like using it much either. Because you need to eat food so frequently to actually keep up this boost, it's kind of annoying to use. Oh my god. Oh, you almost recycled the syringe, which is not what you want. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a troll here, killing Buddy in a very gruesome way. And a huge amount of grubs. Should have definitely bought the blink eye as well. So the reason to buy a blink eye right here. So now you have a total of 3 grubs. If you bought the blink eye as well, you could have used the blink eye to get into the elevator shaft secret right here immediately without using a grub, which means you would have 4 grubs to work with. And 4 grubs is exactly the amount you want. The debuff is terrible. Well, yes, if you if you run out of food completely and you let the hunger bar go all the way to the end, which is kind of rare because this game is usually very generous with food. There are food spawns in almost every room. So it shouldn't happen, but if you do let the hunger bar drop all the way to the down, yes, you get incredibly debuffed. And then you also start taking damage and you die. Alright, the shoot. Oh, it was going so well, but then this unfortunate little mistake. Okay, you salvage it. It's okay. Not quite done fully with 1 grub, but that's fine. That's good enough. Double stasis. Absolutely perfect. Grub in the vendor. You do not need this grub. Food purchase is okay. Nothing wrong with buying food if you are running out and you need to refresh your conditioned polyphagia. And here comes the shaft skip. Now, I assume this will be done very easily with no problems whatsoever. With double metabolic stasis, grubs and injectors last forever, so you can skip the entirety of this whole thing with just 1 grub and 1 injector. Now, here comes the Haunted Pier. Nothing in the vendor, so in this pier, you are guaranteed to get, well, technically 2 injectors. So there is an injector, which our dear player will pick up right here in this pile of containers. Technically, if you climb this huge tower, there's also an injector and a grub up there, but it's too slow. It's too slow to go for it. In fact, even this injector right here, if you are going for like best possible times, it's usually worth skipping it. Now, if you do go for that injector, you choose to waste time to go to grab that injector, you might as well also check the vendor on your way back, because it can have something useful. Alright, this will be a pretty straightforward skip. All you need to do here is just climb up. Yeah, that's peak White Knuckle. Well, what can you do? That's just how it goes at the high level of play. Though it is also silly to assume that getting these crazy speedruns down is takes no skill, because there's definitely a lot of skill involved in this. Okay, very good room here because it guarantees an injector. Slight fumble here, failing to grab onto the ledge to finish this room, but that's okay. Good recovery, and on to the next room immediately. Another good room, which has a possible injector spawn. Will you go for it? You do go for it, it seems like, but you don't get it. Very unfortunate. What you do get is a lot of turret spawns, which is quite annoying, but it's okay. They do not seem to mess with you that much. Oh, slight fumbling here as well. That's fine, that's fine. You should definitely use your food right now, because at this point the perk is doing nothing for you. There we go. Another very good room. You get food here and a guaranteed injector. Very nice. Go up the ladder, turn around. Oh, okay. When you're in this room, once you grab the food and the injector and go towards this ladder, at the top of the ladder, you want to turn around and go the other way. The other way is a much more consistent route. Because if you go this way and you are counting on this exit to be open, which lets you out into the main section quickly, right? This thing will not always be open. Sometimes this early exit will be closed off by a door. Hence why this route is unreliable, and I do not recommend going this way. Gun for some reason. You should have kept the flare gun. Boost yourself once, that would have been okay. Nothing wrong with using the flare gun for only one boost. Okay. Oh, okay, I think we're panicking at this point. I think panic sets in, but okay, now we're stabilizing. I think we're stabilizing. Now at this point, again, you should be eating food. Again, remember this. Whenever this bar is expired, the first bar, you need to eat. You need to eat. Oh, and you do, in fact. Very well done. Good job. Let's see. Will you get the injectors? You do get both the injectors, and you go. You are crouching midair, which is, of course, very, very nice. That is something you should be doing. At this point, you should eat all the remaining food you have in your inventory. I think you still have a granola, right? Or did you eat it at the start of the abyss? Either way, hanging gardens are very short, so you should have eaten the granola. I think, did you? What is in your inventory? Okay, let's see. Is there a way to see what's in your inventory? Did you open it at any point? Didn't need to open it here. Didn't need to open it here. This, you didn't open it here either. When was the last time you opened your inventory? Did you keep that granola for the nest or no? I think it was right here at the start. You didn't open your inventory afterwards at all. Oh, okay, so you ate the granola. All right, so that's fine. My bad. Well then, a 909. Oh, that is so sad, right? That is so unfortunate. If only, oh, if only you didn't make some of these slight mistakes, it would have been a sub 9, definitely. And maybe, you know, maybe if you bought that blink eye at the beginning of the abyss, I'm not sure why you skipped it. Right here. Should have definitely bought the second blink eye. There was nothing much else for you to buy. I think, like, yeah, granolas are cool and all, but the second blink eye, you should have definitely bought it. And as well as not dropping the flare gun. Had you done that, I think this would have been, just with that, it would have been a sub 9, I think. Still, that's a sub 10 run, and any sub 10 run is a very good in my book. So, well done, and thank you for the submission. Okay, so now we go to the submission from okay, I don't want to, I'm gonna call you Cook. Okay, you're gonna be a cook. Wait, it's 36 minutes long? Is it actually 36 minutes long? Oh, it might be. Alright, do we make an exception here? Do we make an exception? Because, so the rules of the submissions are the run has to be 30 minutes or shorter to submit. Now this one is 36 minutes, and we have a lot of submissions here as well. Oh god. Alright, so here's the deal, Cook. Wait, was I just like talking to myself? Did my connection drop or something? Oh wait. Oh, my internet died. I didn't even notice. I was just talking to myself this entire time. Oh my god, when did it drop? Oh my god, when did it die? Oh my lord, was it like... Was I down for a long time? Was I just talking to myself for like 10 minutes? Oh Jesus, when you entered the Abyss interlude? So I was just talking to myself the entire Abyss? No way. Oh my god. So I was down the entire Abyss section. Okay, but it says I've been streaming for only 4 minutes. So did I actually just like skip the entire Abyss because of the internet outage? Oh my god, man. Oh boy. Okay, so what did I skip? I can go back to it. Was it only for Twitch? Okay, so Kenty, what did I skip? Do I need to like go back to something? Oh, I just didn't notice. That's my bad. I just did not notice whatsoever. I need like a warning or something. A huge loud warning to go off whenever I'm like dropping frames or something. Alright, so Kenty, do I need to go back and like cover some sections that I missed because of the lag? Oh, okay. Well, I apologize for that. Alright, so Cook. Cook. Okay, so like 36 minutes. That's so I don't want to just say no to you. I will look at this run, but it's too long for this stream. I am almost out of time, so I apologize. I will skip your run this stream. I will look at it tomorrow if we are not drowning in normal submissions. I think I only have enough time to check out these runs. I assume these are shorter. Yeah, so this one is 15 minutes and then that one is probably like 10. Let's see. Yeah, so I only have time for these two. And that will be it for today, I think. So sorry, Cook. Like, the limit of my submissions is 30 minutes. I will still look at yours, but not today. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. Alright, let's check out this round. So this is not the best room to start with. Oh no, no, oh no. Oh, will you restart? No. Alright, so this room, right? A possible grub spawn here. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Big red arrows? Big red arrows? There's the grub. Chilling like a villain. Again, it's a very low chance for this grub, so you tend to forget about it, but it does spawn there. Now, this vendor, a blink eye. Blink eyes are very important. Having one blink eye is very, very good. So, you should have definitely bought a single blink eye when it was offered to you, because you can use those blink eyes to skip, to teleport straight into the elevator secret in Interlude Lockdown. Now this is the pills room. This room doesn't even guarantee, but you can get pills out of this room. Sometimes, if you're lucky. Now unfortunately you also skip past the pill spawn in this room. Now the way to get to the pill spawn in this room is you get to this middle section right at the start, and then you follow this obvious way with a slight overhang. You go up there, and above this section will be a pipe, and inside of that pipe will be a pill sometimes. It is, I think, perfectly viable to not go that way and just entirely skip the pill spawn and go like the way you go if you already have a stamina item active. So at least a granola, but preferably a pill. If you already have a pill active, yes, it's definitely worth to skip the pill spawn in this room because it's not guaranteed. However, since you didn't have a pill active, I would have definitely went for that pill spawn. This is the granola room. Again, this room has a Okay. So in this room, will you look? You will. At the very start of this room, this pipe. Inside of this pipe, there are two separate granola spawns, and these are very important. Any stamina item is very important at the start of the run. The way to get there is to follow, don't go towards the ladder, just go this normal way of handholds, stop at this handhold, the one that's almost at the end, and from this handhold you would be able to jump and reach the pipe with the granola bars. It is also very important because not only do you get granola bars out of that pipe, you can also finish the entire room in one climb from that pipe. If you're curious about that route, you could probably check out the deep storage section of my Knuckle guide on YouTube. Yeah, well, that's why we're here. That's why I am explaining them to you. Now this room sucks. This room has nothing. Not even a food can. There's nothing to say about it. It's just a bad room. So yeah, definitely missed a decent amount of item spawns here. Metabolic Overdrive, an amazing perk. Injector is always worth buying, as well as a grub. Now, using the grub straight away... actually it's fine. Because it's air exchange, these entirely vertical air exchange rooms are actually... Oh, will you actually get to the grub hub as well? Oh my god. Sometimes I feel like people are cheating when they do this. Like, technically speaking, right? You had no reason whatsoever to use the grub straight away. Like, normally this would be a waste. But then, like, it's a good room. It turns out to be a good place to use it. And then turns out it's a perfect place for you to use it. Because it lasted just long enough for you to actually go into Grubhub. And that is some impressive foresight that you have. Now, I'm not actually suggesting that you're cheating. But oh my god, did you get lucky with this. Wowee. Alright, so that's amazing. And since you got those grubs, you should use one right here to skip the rest of this room, as well as potentially the next room. Okay, well, you won't be able to skip this one with a grub. This room I don't like very much. This room has no items in it whatsoever, and you can sometimes get stuck in it, yep. If a barnacle grabs you, or if you get slightly stuck or something, or if a blood bug hits you, then you could miss the cycle and get stuck behind those rotating platforms. But that's fine. You get past them, and we go to interlude lockdown. Craziest luck of all time. Yes, it really was. Okay. Pressing the button. Let's see. What's in your lockers? This is competitive mode, right? Yeah, okay, it is. Buying the pills is not worth it. The thing with buying pills is that you don't really need them, as you will get a pill here in the elevator shaft secret. And that pill will last you long enough for, like, for the chute and also the shaft if you get stasis. And you do in fact get stasis. So there was no need for you whatsoever to buy the pill. It probably would have been better to not buy it. Okay, you actually go back and buy the blink eye, which is good. I assume you will use it right here to get into the secret. Right? Okay, so some consideration is happening here. And you decide... Okay, that's weird. So I thought you went back for the eye to use it to get up here, which is a very good way to get up here. The best way to get up here. But you don't. So then I'm wondering, why did you go back for the eye, if not for this? What is the purpose of the eye then? Okay. Now, it is worth to use 2 injectors in the expulsion chute, just because whenever you are in shortcuts, your timer goes at triple the normal speed. So it is definitely worth using 2 injectors here just to finish this room faster. Oh, that is unlucky. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. At least you did not die. That's all that matters. Alright, let's see. Will you use another grab here, just to finish this quicker? You should, I think. You should have used a grub at the start of this final section just to finish this faster, because again, the timer goes at triple the speed. And you really do not have the time to just stick around and do nothing. Because it costs you a lot of time here. You've died so many times using the eye. Yep. The eye is a very hard item to get used to, but once you do get used to it, it is quite amazing. Oh. That's perhaps not the best way to use the grub. A bit too early there. I assume that was a misclick. So that's like half of the grub's duration kind of wasted there at the start, which is not great. I suppose it's also not terrible. Also, getting rabbit DNA here, kind of questionable. You should have probably rerolled that perk terminal to try to get second metabolic stasis. Because again, metabolic stasis is just the best normal perk in the entire game and there's nothing you can do about it. Still, rabbit DNA is a very, very, very solid perk. One of the best in the game, I would even say. So, no problem here. Normally, grubs last for 10 seconds. Metabolic stasis increases the duration by 75%. So instead of 10 seconds, with metabolic stasis, they last for 17.5 seconds. Right, so you choose to go for this injector. Since this is kind of a slow-ish run, it's fine. Now, I wonder why you're climbing with only one hand here. Oh, wait, so... if you wanted to skip this, then why climb up here to begin with? I mean, jumping on top of this roof is fine, but then why climb the pipe, right? You have metabolic stasis. Your grubs are active for a very long time. Just use a grub right here, jump to the wall, and keep going. Yeah, a slight mistake, but fine, that's fine. You will learn in time. Oh, in case you didn't have stamina, okay. I think it still would have been worth to just go start climbing straight away. Also, if you were worried about stamina specifically, in this pier, on top of this building, on this roof, there is a guaranteed pill spawn. The pill spawn, let's see, I don't think we'll be able to see it. Yeah, not really. But the pill spawn, let's just go back. You see this lamp? It is right next to this lamp. There is a newspaper next to it, and on top of this newspaper is a pill spawn. Does stasis increase the time of already active buffs? No. It does not. Felt risky. This was your first run this fast. 5 minutes faster than your previous win. I see. Well, don't worry. You will get much better runs in the future. You know, while the run might seem cracked, don't forget that you will very likely get an even better run shortly after. Alright, so this is a very good room. It's very easy, and you can get a injector spawn in here. It's not guaranteed, unfortunately, but it is there. Will you go for it? Unfortunately, no. So in this room, so this was the first button, this is the second button. Once you click the second button, you turn around and you see this wall of computers, right? Right opposite from the button. Right behind this wall of computers, at the bottom of it is a possible injector spawn. So what you want to do is climb on top of it and then look down to see if there's an injector down here. Injector spawns in Delta Labs are insanely valuable because you are going into the Abyss after it, and in the Abyss injectors are absolutely insanely cracked. So you want to check every single one. Oh, you remembered after the run? Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes. You only remember afterwards. Another great room, because this room guarantees an injector. Do you know about it? You don't. Okay. So in this room, you get out of the vent, and you want to look at a vent that is opposite of the entrance to this room. So you enter the room and you look at the opposite wall. In the opposite wall is this vent. This square shape vent right here. On top of this vent is a guaranteed injector, which you should always go for, but unfortunately you do not in this case. Now, using the grubs here is fine. In fact, you should use grubs in Delta Labs, because after Delta Labs the grubs become completely useless, in the Abyss specifically. So Delta Labs is where you should dye the ones that are still remaining in your inventory. Oh my god, what is happening here? Yeah, we need some flashlight action here. Don't forget about the light. Okay, this room is not the best, especially if you go this way. Whenever you get to the entrance of this room, you get two vents, and they're always in this orientation. This room never spawns mirrored. So you will always have a vent on the left with an X, and you will always have a vent on the right with no markings. You always want to go into the vent on the right with no markings. It has a possible player spawn, but the main reason why you want to go there is because if you go into the right vent, you can finish this entire room through a single vent with only one hand to worry about, which can be quite easily dealt with. But if you go into the main section of this room, like you do right here, you will have to deal with not just hands, but also possible turret spawns. And if you get unlucky, you can get up to like 3 or 4 turrets in that room. That is not something you want to play with. There goes metabolic stasis, that's fine. Again, losing stasis in the Abyss is no big deal. As in the Abyss, it's only the horizontal speed that matters. Jump height is like not that crazy. Okay, any artifact is good enough. Okay, getting some lags here on the recording. Sacrifice the artifact and keep going. You should start the tram and then look at items. Yep. You should definitely start the tram first and then go shopping. This is also quite a waste of time doing all this. You should have just ground that one roach that you had, and I think that would have been enough for the injector. Okay, why did you get by the pill though? Okay, so what is happening here? So you're recycling cans to get what? Oh, that is a big loss of time. This is a very, very big loss of time. What is happening here? What are you trying to buy? All you had to do was grind that one roach you have. Or maybe the flashlight too, if that wasn't enough. Just buy the one injector and that's it, and keep moving. You do not need pills here at all. You do not need stamina in the Abyss whatsoever. The pills are just like... they will not do anything for you here. Alright, so what is this? Abyss with only one injector? Now that's quite bad. You usually want to get into the Abyss with like 3 injectors at the very least, if you want to get like a really, really good time. Now on the other hand, you do have Rabbit DNA and you actually use it, which is good. Rabbit DNA is... oh, are you trading for the blink eye? The problem with this is that it will take a very long time to complete this trade, so again, you're losing time doing this. But yeah, at least you are actually using Rabbit DNA. Now, you didn't need a blink eye here. Just from this position, just a Rabbit DNA jump as well as a double jump would have been enough to reach this side. It's slightly closer, so you could have done this without the blink eye, but it's like whatever. I guess that's fine. Ooh, okay, a little bit of panic here with the blink eye, the classic. At least, oh my god, what is happening here? Was your game actually lagging? Like, these frame skips, is that your game lagging, or is this only the recording? Because if this is your game, how do you even play White Knuckle like this? Oh my god. I feel bad for you in this case. What are these frame drops? And to add insult to injury, the game only gives you 1 injector on top of Deadman's. Oh, that is just so unlucky. Oh my god, what is happening here? What are these frame drops? Like these freezes? How do you even play the game like this? I mean, imagine playing like this and then the game freezes at like the millisecond you need to make an insanely important jump, and because of it you miss the handhold or like the ledge or whatever. Oh god. Now H-Cube has a sub 8 now. Very well done. In fact, that time is better than mine. I think my time is 7:55. So very well done. Now, if you would like to submit it, it would have to wait until tomorrow, because I do not have time on this stream. Oh, this was the first time it ever happened? What the? Was probably something in the background, something like overloading your computer. Alright, you know, 16 minutes. If only not for those moments where you spend too much time, like, for example, this, right? While this wasn't the biggest loss of time, you should have definitely just kept going instead of trading for this blink eye. Loss of time there. But this, now this was a huge loss of time. I am not sure what you were doing here. So you sacrifice the artifact and then you start running back and forth. You should have called the tram right there, but instead you started running back and forth, like grinding items, grind the flashlight, and then like the pill purchase was just pointless. And then you run here, grab the rebar, and then you run all the way back to the altar and grab the food. Yeah, so I've covered this. A lot of places where you kind of spend too much time. Although, you know what? I think practically, this was the biggest waste of time in this run. Shoot, it is definitely the shoot. Like you finishing the shoot normally without using items, just like standing here and waiting for the fire to stop. I think the shoot was actually the biggest loss of time. And that tends to be the case for most runs. Whenever you lose time in shoot, it's insanely tragic because it gets amplified by 3. But yeah, overall, a solid run. If you put your heart into it, you can definitely do much, much better times. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, and this will be the last run of the stream. A cheeky 10-minute run, I assume. Oh, that's loud. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. We start with the granola room with no granola. Okay, that's a restart. Okay, so when does the run actually begin? This is another restart, right? Yeah, cool. And this is another restart? Cool. When does the run begin? 1:14. Okay, thank you. There we go. Oh, here we go. The best room in deep storage, because as I've said already, this is the only room in deep storage that guarantees both a pill and an injector. And for this case, or for this reason, this is the absolute best room to start with, because it gives you, it ensures that you will have infinite stamina for the entirety of deep storage, and it gives you a massive speed boost with the injector. And the injector allows you to basically fly through most deep storage rooms very easily. A vendor here. What's in the vendor? A grub. Probably worth buying. There we go. Now again, in this room, there could be a secret. And if you do get this secret, it is not open, unfortunately. In the secret, there is potentially, or there is always a pill, but also potentially an injector and a grub. This is the granola room. That platform there has 2 possible granola spawns. Our player here only gets 1, but that's fine. That is good enough. Getting 1 granola from that platform is good enough. On to Metabolic Overdrive and Polyphagia. I would also prefer Overdrive just because it's easier to work with, since you don't have to bother with food. Injector. Oh, so I'm guessing you're contemplating here. Do I just buy the injector, or do I buy the rocket rebar and gamble to potentially get 2 injectors? Let's see. Okay, here comes the gamble. Okay, so you get 2 injectors from this one. Oh, I forgot about the other vendor. Oh my god. So this 1 rocket rebar here paid for 3 injectors and 1 grub. Okay, that is an insane start. 1 more grub in this room, because this room is just goated. It has a grub spawn, an injector spawn, and 2 pill spawns. Is the injector there? I assume not. I didn't quite see though, but I assume you saw that it wasn't there. Another injector spawn in this room. Is it there? It is there. Okay. So far, absolutely criminal luck. Criminal in a good way. An insane amount of items. The only thing left now is not to throw this run. Not to fumble horribly. Well, let's see. Maybe you do manage to fumble it horribly. So grind the hammer, the roaches, and the gold thing. Now, is it worth buying the grub here? I think it is. Just in case you don't finish the shoot with only one grub and it takes you two, it is nice to have a spare. Now, in the perfect world, 3 grubs with condition, 3 grubs with metabolic stasis is enough for shoot, shaft, and pier. But just in case, it's nice to have 4 grubs. Alright. Good item usage, double injection for the shoot. Let's see. How good is the shoot? Okay, kind of a weird start there, getting stuck. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be a single grub shoot. But that's the beauty of having so many grubs. You still have the second grub, which you should probably just use right here. You choose not to use the second grub. I mean, you do finish this fairly quickly, but why not use the second grub? I mean, you have 3, right? And you don't need more than 3. Like, you could have absolutely used another grub right there and finished shoot even faster. But it's okay. I guess that's fine. What are my favorite perks? Top 3? Rabbit DNA. What else? I think Rabbit DNA is just the most fun perk in the entire game. Rabbit DNA. And I'm like talking just in terms of fun. Because like, technically, of course, you don't need anything else but metabolic stasis and, you know, overdrive in the campaign. So Rabbit DNA. Is it worth going for this injector here? I don't know. But I guess using the eye to shorten the travel time is good. Alright, so Rabbit DNA, what else? What else is fun? What else? Okay, going for the pill is not worth it here, I think. But I suppose that's fine. What else but Rabbit DNA? I don't even know. I think the rest of the perks are like, they're just good, right? They're not really fun. Like, you could call something like Autonomous Skeleton fun. And it is fun, but it's just not good enough, I think, for, like, higher level gameplay. Okay, possible injector spawn right here, and you do, in fact, get this injector. Very lucky on your part. And using the grub here, I agree with this decision. Using the grub here is good. You don't understand why some perks are so hard meta? Well, see, the thing is, okay, and just absolutely amazing item luck here. Straight into this room with a guaranteed injector. Oh my god, I want to see the final vendor. Oh, will you get an injector in this room too? That would be crazy. The thing is, you can innovate, you can do new things, absolutely. But unfortunately, the meta has mostly been figured out already. Oh, you do in fact get this injector. Oh my god, this luck. The meta has kind of been figured out already by absolutely insane players. So if your objective to get just absolute best times, you kind of have to follow the meta. If that is not your objective, if you're like not competing with like the top 1% of the players in this game, then you can do whatever. Then you can absolutely do whatever you want. There are plenty of cool perk combinations and like item usage scenarios that you can do to decent effect. It's just not going to be as good as the current meta, unfortunately. But hey, the meta is going to change slightly next update. Okay, so 1 injector, 2 injector, oh, only 2 injectors. Okay, a gamble. Does the gamble pay off? I mean, sure, that's good. So you enter the Abyss with 4 injectors. This is more than average. 4 injectors is good. And also 2 blink eyes. And, you know, the guaranteed flare gun. So I think this is while I would love more injectors, I think this is still good. Having this many blink eyes is very, very good in the Abyss. Granted, if you actually use them. So let's see if you do use them properly. Now, it seems like you do. You're crouching midair, you're using the blink eyes to... Oh, that was a bit of a misplay. Oh my god. Only one injector at the end here. Oh lord. Now that's just tragic to see. Such a good run, and then the game decides, you know what? You only get one injector. You don't get an amazing PB this run. Okay, you actually do use the blink eyes very well. Wait, you could have absolutely double jumped to the end here, no? So you land here, so your double jump gets refreshed, and you can just double jump right here and get all the way to the end, no? Why do you choose to go down? Lost a little bit of time because of this. Like 2 seconds or something. Well, even so, 8:44 is a very good time. Not a perfect run by any stretch of the imagination. However, the item RNG on this run was pretty insane. That was quite cracked. So I guess if you played it a little bit better, this definitely could have been even a sub 8, I think. But hey. Oh, the game didn't count that as a landing? Really? That did not count as a landing? That's crazy. I mean, you were on the ground. Oh, I see what happened there. So you can hear it used the double jump straight away. Yeah. So you went forward a bit too much. Like you jumped too late. So you jumped with your double jump straight away. So it did refresh. It's just you used your double jump right there. Yeah, if only you jumped a bit earlier. But yeah, a very, very, very good run. Oh, this time could have been so much better. But that's okay. It will get better if you keep at it. Or you could just stop. You know, the nest is gonna come out like... The nest is probably gonna come out at the very end of the month. So you still have like 2 weeks-ish. So you could grind for a sub 8, or you could just stop. I think stopping right now is okay. I think it's fine to just take a bit of a break from Knuckle and then go back into Nest refreshed and have fun. But yeah, otherwise, a good run, and thank you for submitting it. And that, fellas, will be all for the stream. Thank you, everyone who joined this time and stuck around and submitted your runs. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, and I will definitely catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow's probably gonna be probably a longer stream, I think. So I will be able to look at longer runs as well. So Cook, if you are in the chat tomorrow, remind me of your 36-minute run. And if I don't have other runs to go through, I will cover yours. Well, if you're still here at least. All right, let's see. Who is streaming White Knuckle? My favorite game. Stanlix and Zamide. I think I rated Zamide last time. Let's check out the professional White Knuckle speedrunner Stanlix with the 605 PB. Damn, 605 is so good. 605 is just, it's the kind of time that most of us will just never be able to get. 605. And he says he's top 9. Oh my god, top 9 in the world. Yeah, and you two have a nice evening. Thank you very much. again, thank you very much for sticking around, for joining, and I will catch you tomorrow for some more run breakdowns. And oh my god, guys, I'm so excited for Nest. The Nest cannot come sooner. But yeah, see you later.